100 Civics Questions 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 1, 1 to 15. Animated 2025. A cozy classroom with posters of American symbols. Anne and Mark sit facing each other, ready to start the practice test.
All right, Mark, let's begin with the first 15 citizenship questions. I'll give you 3 options for each question. Pick the one you think is correct, and I'll explain why. Ready?
Yes, Anne. Let's do it.
Question 1. What does the President's Cabinet do? A. Passes laws. B. Advises the President. C. Controls the military.
I choose B. Advises the President.
That's correct. The President's Cabinet is made up of the heads of important government departments like defense, education, and health. Their main job is to advise the President on decisions about policies and how to run the government effectively. They don't have the power to make laws themselves or control the military directly, but their advice helps the President lead the country well. Question 2. Where is the Statue of Liberty? A. In Washington, D.C. B. In the New York Harbor. C. In Boston Harbor.
I choose B. In the New York Harbor.
Exactly. The Statue of Liberty stands on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. It was a gift from France to the United States in 1886 to celebrate freedom and democracy. The statue is a symbol of hope and welcome for immigrants arriving by sea and remains one of the most famous landmarks in the country. Question 3. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? A. 7. B. 9. C. 11.
I choose B. 9.
That's right. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States, and it has 9 justices. These justices are appointed for life, and their job is to interpret the Constitution, review laws, and decide if laws or government actions are constitutional. Their decisions have a big impact on the country's laws and citizens' rights. Question 4. What are the 2 major political parties in the United States? A. Democratic and Republican. B. Green and Libertarian. C. Whig and Federalist.
I choose A. Democratic and Republican.
Correct. The 2 main political parties in the U.S. are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. They represent different ideas about government and policies, and most elections are contested between candidates from these 2 parties. Knowing the major parties helps you understand U.S. politics and elections better. Question 5. What did Susan B. Anthony do? A. She was the first female president. B. She fought for women's rights. C. She wrote the Constitution.
I choose B. She fought for women's rights.
Exactly. Susan B. Anthony was a leader in the women's suffrage movement during the 19th century. She worked tirelessly to win women the right to vote, organizing campaigns, giving speeches, and helping to change public opinion. Her efforts contributed to the passing of the 19th Amendment, which granted women the right to vote. Question 6. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? A. Louisiana. B. Alaska. C. Florida.
I choose A. Louisiana.
That's correct. The Louisiana Purchase was a huge land deal where the U.S. bought a large territory from France in 1803. This purchase doubled the size of the country at the time and gave Americans access to vast new lands for settlement and expansion westward. Question 7. Why did the colonists fight the British? A. Because of high taxes. B. Because of freedom of speech. C. Because of land disputes.
I choose A. Because of high taxes.
Right. The colonists were upset because the British government imposed taxes like the Stamp Act and Tea Act without allowing them any representation in the British Parliament. They believed this was unfair and called it taxation without representation. This conflict eventually led to the American Revolutionary War. Question 8. Who signs bills to become laws? A. The Supreme Court. B. The President. C. The Vice President.
I choose B. The President.
Exactly. After both the House of Representatives and the Senate approve a bill, it goes to the President. The President can sign the bill into law, making it official. If the President does not sign it, the bill does not become law unless Congress overrides the veto with enough votes. Question 9. What is the name of the President of the United States now? A. Joe Biden. B. Donald Trump. C. Barack Obama.
I choose B. Donald Trump.
That is correct for this practice test. It's important to know the current president's name because it can change after elections. Always check the most recent information before your interview, as this is a common question. Question 10. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? A. It freed the slaves. B. It started World War I. C. It gave women the right to vote.
I choose A. It freed the slaves.
That's right. The Emancipation Proclamation was issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1863 during the Civil War. It declared that all slaves in the Confederate States were free. This was a major step toward ending slavery in the United States. Question 11. Why does the flag have 50 stars? A. Because there are 50 states. B. Because there are 50 presidents. C. Because there are 50 colonies.
I choose A. Because there are 50 states.
Exactly. Each star on the American flag represents one of the 50 states in the United States. As new states joined the country, new stars were added, making the flag a symbol of national unity. Question 12. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? A. 4 years. B. 6 years. C. 2 years.
I choose B. 6 years.
Correct. U.S. Senators serve 6-year terms, which helps provide stability and experience in the Senate. Their elections are staggered so that only about 1/3 of the Senate seats are up for election at a time. Question 13. Who vetoes bills? A. The President. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Supreme Court.
I choose A. The President.
Yes, the President has the power to veto bills passed by Congress, which means rejecting them. This is a check on legislative power. However, Congress can override the veto if 2/3 of both houses vote to do so. Question 14. What are two cabinet-level positions? A. The Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Education. B. The Attorney General and the Vice President. C. The Speaker of the House and the Secretary of Treasury.
I choose B. The Attorney General and the Vice President.
Correct. The Attorney General leads the Department of Justice and is the main legal advisor to the government. The Vice President is the second highest executive officer and can take over the presidency if needed. Both are important cabinet members. Question 15. What happened at the Constitution Convention? A. The Constitution was written. B. The Declaration of Independence was signed. C. The Bill of Rights was created.
I choose A. The Constitution was written.
That's right. In 1787, delegates from the states met in Philadelphia to write the Constitution. This document established the structure of the U.S. government and its fundamental laws, which are still in use today. Great job, Mark. You answered all 15 questions well. Now, let's talk about how to study effectively to pass your citizenship test.
Yes, please. I want to make sure I'm ready.
First, practice regularly with questions like these. Repetition helps your memory and confidence. Also, focus on understanding the meaning behind each answer, not just memorizing facts. This way, you can explain and remember them better. Using flashcards, study groups, and listening to English recordings can also help.
That makes sense. I'll study every day and focus on the reasons behind each answer.
Perfect. Don't forget to keep up with current events, especially who holds government offices, since that can change. And practicing your speaking and listening skills will help you pass the interview part easily.
Thanks, Anne. I feel more confident now about how to prepare.
You're doing great, Mark. Keep it up, and you'll pass with flying colors.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 2, 16 to 30, Animated 2025. The classroom is bright with afternoon sunlight. Mark looks more confident after the first round. Anne smiles and opens the study guide to continue.
Great job on the first set, Mark. Now let's keep the momentum going with questions 16 through 30. Ready?
Ready as ever, Anne. Let's do this.
Question 16. What does the Constitution do? A. Sets up the government. B. Writes laws for states. C. Determines foreign policy.
I choose A. Sets up the government.
Exactly. The Constitution is the foundational document that establishes how the U.S. government is organized. It creates the three branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, and explains their powers and responsibilities. It's the blueprint for the country's laws and government. Question 17. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? A. To set up schools. B. To print money. C. To issue driver's licenses.
I choose B. To print money.
Correct. Printing and regulating money is a key power of the federal government. This helps keep the economy stable and ensures the currency is trusted nationwide. States do not have this power. That's reserved for the federal government. Question 18. What is the rule of law? A. Everyone must follow the law. B. Only government officials must follow the law. C. Laws can change every day.
I choose A. Everyone must follow the law.
Right. The rule of law means that every person, from citizens to leaders, is subject to the law equally. No one is above the law. This principle protects fairness and justice in society. Question 19. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? A. To declare war. B. To issue driver's licenses. C. To print money.
I choose B. To issue driver's licenses.
Exactly. States have powers to manage local matters, such as issuing driver's licenses and regulating driving laws. This shows how federalism divides power between the national government and states. Question 20. Who is in charge of the executive branch? A. The President. B. The Supreme Court. C. Congress.
I choose A. The President.
Correct. The President leads the executive branch, which enforces laws and directs national policy. The President also commands the military and works with other countries. Question 21. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? A. Because they have more people. B. Because they have more land. C. Because they have more schools.
I choose A. Because they have more people.
That's right. Representation in the House depends on population size. States with more people have more representatives to ensure their citizens' voices are fairly heard in Congress. Question 22. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? A. 100. B. 435. C. 50.
I choose B. 435.
Exactly. There are 435 voting members in the House. This large number reflects the goal of representing the people as closely as possible, with members elected from districts across all states. Question 23. Name one branch or part of the government. A. The Treasury. B. The Senate. C. The President.
I choose C. The President.
Actually, this question can be a bit tricky because the President is part of the executive branch, but the branches are generally legislative, executive, and judicial. Naming the president is accepted here as the leader of the executive branch, so your answer is fine. Question 24. In what month do we vote for president? A. November's. B. October. C. December.
I choose A. November.
Correct. U.S. citizens vote for president every 4 years on the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. This is a major event in American democracy. Question 25. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? A. George Washington. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. Benjamin Franklin.
I choose B. Thomas Jefferson.
That's right. Thomas Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, which announced the colonies' separation from Britain in 1776. Question 26. What major event happened on September 11, 2001? A. Terrorists attacked the United States. B. The Declaration of Independence was signed. C. The United States entered World War II.
I choose A. Terrorists attacked the United States.
Exactly. On that day, terrorists hijacked planes and attacked the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, leading to significant changes in U.S. security and foreign policy. Question 27. There were 13 original states. Name 3. A. New York, New Jersey, and New Hampshire. B. California, Texas, and Florida. C. Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois.
I choose A. New York, New Jersey, and New Hampshire.
Perfect. These were among the first 13 states formed after independence, originally colonies that declared freedom from Britain. Question 28. What is the supreme law of the land? A. The Constitution. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Declaration of Independence.
I choose A. The Constitution.
Exactly. The Constitution is the highest law in the United States. All other laws and government actions must comply with it. Question 29. What is freedom of religion? A. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. B. You can only practice one religion. C. You can't practice any religion.
I choose A. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion.
Correct. Freedom of religion means people are free to choose their religion or choose not to follow any. This right is protected by the First Amendment. Question 30. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? A. Checks and balances. B. Presidential vetoes. C. Federal courts.
I choose A. Checks and balances.
Right. The system of checks and balances ensures that the legislative, executive, and judicial branches can limit each other's powers. This prevents any one branch from becoming too strong or abusing power. Excellent work, Mark. You're improving with every question. How are you feeling now?
Much more confident, Anne. Your explanations really help me understand the reasons behind the answers.
That's exactly what you need. Keep studying this way. Understanding the why will make you ready not only for the test, but for being an informed citizen.
Thanks, Anne. I'm ready for more when you are.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 3, 31 to 45. Animated 2025. The afternoon sun softens, filling the classroom with warm light. Mark looks eager and focused as Anne prepares to continue.
You've done really well so far, Mark. Let's continue with questions 31 through 45. Ready?
Absolutely, Anne. Let's keep going.
Question 31. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. A. The Navajo. B. The Crow. C. The Sioux.
I choose B. The Crow.
That's correct. The Crow tribe is one of many Native American tribes with a rich history and culture. Understanding these tribes helps us appreciate the diversity and heritage of the United States. The Crow people traditionally lived in the Great Plains and have contributed significantly to the country's history. Question 32. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the military? A. The Secretary of Defense. B. The Vice President. C. The President.
I choose C. The President.
Exactly. The President holds the highest authority over the U.S. military and is responsible for making key decisions about national defense and security. This role ensures civilian control over the military, which is an important principle in American democracy to prevent military power from overshadowing elected leadership. Question 33. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? A. He wrote the Constitution. B. He was the first president. C. He freed the slaves, which is called the Emancipation Proclamation.
I choose C. He freed the slaves, which is called the Emancipation Proclamation.
That's right. Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation during the Civil War in 1863. This executive order declared that slaves in the Confederate States were free. While it did not immediately end slavery nationwide, it transformed the fight to preserve the Union into a battle for human freedom and paved the way for the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery completely. Question 34. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? A. The flag only. B. The United States. C. The President.
I choose B. The United States.
Correct. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we express our loyalty and commitment to the United States as a nation. It symbolizes unity, respect for the country's principles, and dedication to upholding its laws and freedoms. The flag represents the nation's ideals, but our pledge is to the country as a whole. Question 35. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? A. Europeans. B. Africans. C. Asians.
I choose B. Africans.
Yes, Africans were forcibly taken from their homelands and sold into slavery in America, mainly to work on plantations in the South. This was a tragic and brutal part of U.S. history that had profound social, economic, and cultural impacts that still affect society today. Question 36. What is the capital of your state? A. Washington, D.C. B. New York City. C. This answer depends on where you live.
I choose C. This answer depends on where you live.
Exactly. Each state has its own capital city where the state government is based. For example, Sacramento is the capital of California, and Austin is the capital of Texas. Knowing your state capital shows an understanding of your state's government structure. Question 37. How old must citizens be to vote for president? A. 16 and older. B. 18 and older. C. 21 and older.
I choose B. 18 and older.
Correct. The 26th Amendment, ratified in 1971, lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. This change was made to allow younger citizens, including those eligible for the military draft during the Vietnam War, to have a voice in choosing their government. Question 38. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? A. 2 years. B. 4 years. C. 6 years.
I choose A. 2 years.
Right. Members of the House of Representatives serve 2-year terms. This relatively short term ensures they remain responsive to the people's needs and opinions, as they must seek re-election frequently. Question 39. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. A. High taxes. B. Slavery. C. Immigration.
I choose B. Slavery.
Yes, slavery was the central and most contentious issue that divided the northern and southern states. It was the primary cause of the Civil War, as the South wanted to preserve slavery, while the North largely sought to end it, leading to a conflict that shaped the nation's future. Question 40. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? A. Freedom of speech. B. Right to vote. C. Right to bear arms.
I choose A. Freedom of speech.
Exactly. The First Amendment protects many fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, religion, the press, assembly, and petition. These rights are essential to a democratic society, allowing individuals to express their opinions and beliefs without government interference. Question 41. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? A. Because there were 13 original colonies. B. Because there are 13 states. C. Because there are 13 presidents.
I choose A. Because there were 13 original colonies.
Correct. The 13 stripes represent the original 13 colonies that declared independence from Great Britain and formed the United States. This design honors the country's origins and foundation. Question 42. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? A. April 15th. B. March 1st. C. June 30th.
I choose A. April 15th.
Right. April 15th is the annual deadline for most Americans to file their federal income tax returns. Filing taxes is an important civic duty that supports government services and infrastructure. Question 43. Name one state that borders Mexico. A. California. B. Oregon. C. Florida.
I choose A. California.
Yes, California is one of the 4 U.S. states sharing a border with Mexico, along with Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. These borders are significant for trade, culture, and immigration policies. Question 44. What is the highest court in the United States? A. The Supreme Court. B. The Court of Appeals. C. The District Court.
I choose A. The Supreme Court.
Correct. The Supreme Court is the highest judicial authority. It interprets the Constitution and has the final say on legal disputes that impact the entire country. Question 45. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? A. The Pacific Ocean. B. The Atlantic Ocean. C. The Indian Ocean.
I choose B. The Atlantic Ocean.
Exactly. The Atlantic Ocean borders the eastern coast of the U.S. It has played a key role in history, trade, and immigration, especially during the country's early years. Excellent work today, Mark. You're building a solid understanding. How do you feel?
I feel much more confident, Anne. Your detailed explanations make everything clear and memorable.
That's wonderful. Remember, understanding the reasons behind answers is key. Keep practicing like this, and you'll be ready for your interview and citizenship test soon.
Thank you, Anne. I'm ready for the next set when you are.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 4, 46 to 60, Animated 2025. Evening light filters softly through the classroom windows. Mark feels more confident as Anne prepares the next set of questions.
You're doing wonderfully, Mark. Let's move on to questions 46 through 60. Ready to continue?
Yes, Anne. I'm ready to keep going.
Question 46. Who is the governor of your state? A. Joe Biden. B. This answer depends on where you live. C. The president.
I choose B. This answer depends on where you live.
Exactly. Each state elects its own governor, who is the chief executive officer of the state government. The governor oversees state laws and policies, similar to how the president leads the country. Knowing your state's governor is important because they impact your daily life directly. Question 47. What are 2 rights of everyone living in the United States? A. Right to travel and to bear arms. B. Right to vote and own property. C. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
I choose C. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
Correct. These fundamental rights are guaranteed to everyone living in the U.S., citizens or not. freedom of speech allows people to express themselves, and freedom of religion allows people to practice any religion or none at all. Question 48. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? A. He was a U.S. Senator. B. He fought for civil rights. C. He wrote the Emancipation Proclamation.
I choose B. He fought for civil rights.
Right. Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader of the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s. He worked to end racial discrimination through peaceful protests and powerful speeches, inspiring change and advancing equality in America. Question 49. When must all men register for the Selective Service? A. At age 16. B. At age 18 and older. C. At age 21.
I choose B. At age 18 and older.
Correct. All male U.S. citizens and immigrants between ages 18 and 25 must register for selective service. This system allows the government to quickly draft soldiers, if necessary, during a national emergency. Question 50. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. A. Only men can vote. B. Only people over 30 can vote. C. Citizens can vote.
I choose C. Citizens can vote.
Exactly. One important amendment guarantees that citizens of the U.S. have the right to vote. Other amendments have expanded voting rights regardless of race, gender, or age, helping to make voting more inclusive. Question 51. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? A. He was a U.S. diplomat. B. He was the first president. C. He wrote the Constitution.
I choose A. He was a U.S. diplomat.
That's right. Benjamin Franklin was a key diplomat who helped secure French support during the American Revolution. He was also an inventor and founding father, contributing greatly to the birth of the nation. Question 52. What is the political party of the president now? A. Democratic. B. Republican. C. Independent.
I choose B. Republican.
Correct. The political party of the current president affects policies and priorities. It's important to know which party leads the executive branch during your citizenship process. Question 53. What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? A. The Senate and the House of Representatives. B. The President and the Vice President. C. The Supreme Court and the Cabinet.
I choose A. The Senate and the House of Representatives.
Exactly. Congress is a bicameral legislature with 2 chambers, the Senate, which represents states equally, and the House, which represents the population. Together, they create federal laws. Question 54. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? A. The Atlantic Ocean. B. The Indian Ocean. C. The Pacific Ocean.
I choose C. The Pacific Ocean.
That's right. The Pacific Ocean borders the western coast, playing a vital role in trade, travel, and natural resources for the U.S. Question 55. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators? A. Answers depend on where you live. B. Joe Biden. C. Abraham Lincoln.
I choose A. Answers depend on where you live.
Correct. Each state has 2 senators representing it in the U.S. Senate. Knowing your state's senators is helpful for understanding who represents you at the national level. Question 56. Before he was president, Dwight D. Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? A. World War I. B. World War II. C. The Korean War.
I choose B. World War II.
That's right. Eisenhower was a general who led Allied forces in Europe during World War II before becoming the 34th President of the United States. Question 57. What is an amendment? A. A change to the Constitution. B. A new law passed by Congress. C. A speech made by the President.
I choose A. A change to the Constitution.
Exactly. Amendments modify or add to the Constitution, allowing it to adapt over time to the needs and values of the country. Question 58. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. A. World War II. B. The Revolutionary War. C. The Civil War.
I choose A. World War II.
Correct. World War II was a major global conflict in the 20th century, with the U.S. playing a critical role in the Allied victory. Question 59. What is the name of the national anthem? A. America the Beautiful. B. The Star-Spangled Banner. C. God Bless America.
I choose B. The Star-Spangled Banner.
Yes, the Star-Spangled Banner became the national anthem in 1931 and is sung to honor the United States, especially at official events and sports games. Question 60. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? A. We the people. B. In order to. C. Of the people.
I choose A. We the people.
Correct. We the people emphasizes that the government's power comes from the citizens themselves, embodying the principle of self-government and democracy. Wonderful work today, Mark. You're gaining a strong understanding of these important facts. How do you feel?
I'm feeling really confident, Anne. Your clear explanations make everything easier to remember and understand.
That's fantastic to hear. Keep up this approach, and you'll be fully prepared for your citizenship interview and test.
Thanks, Anne. I'm excited to keep learning.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 5, 61 to 75. Animated 2025. The classroom is calm in the early evening. Mark is focused and ready to tackle more questions as Anne prepares the study guide.
You've made excellent progress, Mark. Let's continue with questions 61 through 75. Ready?
Yes, Anne. I'm ready to learn more.
Question 61. When was the Constitution written? A. 1776. B. 1787. C. 1800.
I choose B. 1787.
That's correct. The Constitution was written in 1787 during the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. This was a crucial moment in American history because the Constitution replaced the Articles of Confederation, which were not strong enough to hold the new nation together. The Constitution created a stronger federal government with three branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, to balance power and protect citizens' rights. Question 62. What is the capital of the United States? A. New York City. B. Los Angeles. C. Washington, D.C.
I choose C. Washington, D.C.
Exactly. Washington, D.C. was chosen as the nation's capital to be separate from any state, providing a neutral location for the federal government. It is home to important government buildings like the White House, the Capitol, and the Supreme Court, where key decisions affecting the whole country are made. Question 63. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? A. Paying taxes. B. Voting in a federal election. C. Serving on a jury.
I choose B. Voting in a federal election.
That's right. Voting in federal elections is a privilege and responsibility exclusive to U.S. citizens. This means only citizens can vote for the president, senators, and representatives. Voting is how citizens participate in democracy and choose leaders who make laws and policies. Question 64. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? A. The Civil Rights Movement. B. The Women's Suffrage Movement. C. The Labor Movement.
I choose A. The Civil Rights Movement.
Correct. The Civil Rights Movement, led by leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., aimed to end segregation and discrimination based on race, particularly against African Americans. This movement brought about important laws like the Civil Rights Act, which outlawed discrimination and helped promote equal rights. Question 65. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. A. Thomas Jefferson. B. John Jay. C. Benjamin Franklin.
I choose B. John Jay.
That's right. John Jay, along with Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, wrote the Federalist Papers to explain the benefits of the Constitution and convince people to support its ratification. These essays were important in shaping public opinion and ensuring the Constitution was accepted. Question 66. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. A. The Mississippi River. B. The Colorado River. C. The Rio Grande.
I choose A. The Mississippi River.
Exactly. The Mississippi River is one of the longest rivers in the world and runs through the heart of the United States. It has been vital for transportation, commerce, and agriculture, helping shape the country's economy and settlement patterns. Question 67. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? A. Kamala Harris. B. Mike Pence. C. J.D. Vance.
I choose C. J.D. Vance.
Correct. J.D. Vance is the current vice president. The vice president supports the president and is next in line to become president if the president can no longer serve. Knowing the current officials is important as these positions can change with elections. Question 68. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? A. Communism. B. Democracy. C. Trade policies.
I choose A. Communism.
Right. During the Cold War, the U.S. was mainly concerned about stopping the spread of communism, particularly from the Soviet Union and its allies. This led to political tensions, arms races, and conflicts like the Korean and Vietnam Wars, as the U.S. sought to promote democracy and contain communism. Question 69. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? A. To serve in the military. B. To be loyal to the United States. C. To pay taxes.
I choose B. To be loyal to the United States.
Exactly. When you become a citizen, you pledge allegiance and loyalty to the United States, promising to support the Constitution and the country's laws. This is a key commitment showing dedication to being a responsible citizen. Question 70. Name your U.S. representative. A. Answers depend on where you live. B. Joe Biden. C. Abraham Lincoln.
I choose A. Answers depend on where you live.
That's right. Your U.S. representative depends on your congressional district, which varies by location. Representatives are elected to serve the people in their district in the House of Representatives. Question 71. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? A. The vice president. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Secretary of State.
I choose A. The vice president.
Correct. The vice president is first in the line of succession to become president if the current president dies, resigns, or is removed. This ensures continuity of government leadership. Question 72. What does the judicial branch do? A. Passes laws. B. Enforces laws. C. Reviews laws.
I choose C. Reviews laws.
Exactly. The judicial branch interprets laws and determines whether laws or actions by government officials comply with the Constitution. This system helps protect citizens' rights and ensures fairness. Question 73. Who was the first president? A. George Washington. B. Abraham Lincoln. C. Thomas Jefferson.
I choose A. George Washington.
Right. George Washington was the first president and is often called the father of our country. He led the country through its early years and set important examples for future presidents, like serving only 2 terms. Question 74. Name one U.S. territory. A. Puerto Rico. B. Canada. C. Mexico.
I choose A. Puerto Rico.
Correct. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, meaning it is controlled by the U.S., and its residents are U.S. citizens. However, they do not have the same voting rights as citizens in the states. Question 75. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? A. Voting and running for office. B. Watching TV and reading the news. C. Moving to another country and staying silent.
I choose A. Voting and running for office.
Exactly. Participating by voting and running for office are the 2 most important ways citizens can influence government policies and leadership, helping keep democracy strong. Fantastic work today, Mark. How do you feel?
I feel much more confident, Anne. Your detailed explanations really help me understand, not just memorize.
That's the best way to learn. Keep practicing, and you'll be well prepared for your citizenship test and interview.
Thanks, Anne. I'm ready to keep going.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 6, 76 to 90, animated 2025. The evening deepens, and the classroom glows softly under warm lights. Mark is focused, ready for another round.
You're doing really well, Mark. Let's continue with questions 76 through 90. Ready?
Yes, Anne. Let's keep up the good work.
Question 76. What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? A. Life and liberty. B. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion. C. Right to vote and right to bear arms.
I choose A. Life and liberty.
That's exactly right. The Declaration of Independence, written in 1776, emphasizes that all people have certain unalienable rights, which cannot be taken away. 2 of these fundamental rights are life and liberty. These principles assert that every person has the right to live freely and safely, and no government should unjustly take these rights away. This idea deeply influenced the formation of the United States and its Constitution. Question 77. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? A. All people of the state. B. Only the people in their district. C. The President.
I choose A. All people of the state.
Correct. Unlike members of the House who represent smaller districts, U.S. senators represent their entire state. Each state, regardless of population size, elects 2 senators to the Senate. This equal representation ensures smaller states have a strong voice in federal legislation, balancing the larger states' influence in the House of Representatives. Question 78. Who is the father of our country? A. Thomas Jefferson. B. Abraham Lincoln. C. George Washington.
I choose C. George Washington.
Absolutely. George Washington is called the father of our country because he led the Continental Army to victory during the American Revolution and became the first president. His leadership helped unify the new nation and set important precedents for future presidents, including peacefully transferring power after 2 terms in office. Question 79. What did the Declaration of Independence do? A. It announced our independence from Great Britain. B. It created the Constitution. C. It formed the United Nations.
I choose A. It announced our independence from Great Britain.
That's right. The Declaration declared that the 13 colonies were no longer under British rule and were free, independent states. It laid out the reasons for breaking away, such as unfair taxes and lack of representation, and became a foundational document for American freedom and democracy. Question 80. Who makes federal laws? A. The President. B. Congress. C. The Supreme Court.
I choose B. Congress.
Correct. Congress is the legislative branch of the federal government. It is responsible for writing, debating, and passing laws that apply across the entire country. Congress has 2 chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Laws must pass both chambers and be signed by the President to become official. Question 81. What is one reason colonists came to America? A. Freedom. B. To work in factories. C. To visit family.
I choose A. Freedom.
Exactly. Many colonists came seeking freedom from religious persecution, political oppression, and economic hardship in Europe. They wanted to practice their religion freely, have a voice in government, and own land, all of which were limited or denied to them in their home countries. Question 82. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? A. John Roberts. B. Clarence Thomas. C. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I choose A. John Roberts.
That's right. John Roberts is the current Chief Justice, the head of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice leads the court's sessions and is influential in shaping important legal decisions that affect the entire country. The court interprets the Constitution and ensures laws comply with it. Question 83. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. A. The Civil War. B. World War I. C. The Korean War.
I choose A. The Civil War.
Correct. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865, was fought primarily over the issue of slavery and states' rights. It was the bloodiest conflict in U.S. history and led to the abolition of slavery and preservation of the Union. Question 84. Who was president during World War I? A. Franklin Roosevelt. B. Theodore Roosevelt. C. Woodrow Wilson.
I choose C. Woodrow Wilson.
Exactly. Woodrow Wilson led the country through World War I and later worked to establish the League of Nations, aiming to prevent future conflicts, though the U.S. Senate did not ratify the treaty. Question 85. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? A. Franklin Roosevelt. B. Herbert Hoover. C. Harry Truman's.
I choose A. Franklin Roosevelt.
Correct. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president during two of America's toughest periods. He introduced the New Deal to create jobs and economic recovery during the Great Depression and led the nation through most of World War II. Question 86. How many U.S. senators are there? A. 100. B. 50. C. 435.
I choose A. 100.
Exactly. There are 100 senators, 2 from each state, regardless of population. This equal representation protects smaller states' interests at the federal level. Question 87. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? A. The Secretary of State. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Chief Justice.
I choose B. The Speaker of the House.
That's right. The Speaker of the House is third in the line of presidential succession. If both the president and vice president cannot serve, the Speaker assumes the presidency, ensuring government continuity. Question 88. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. A. Christmas and New Year's Day. B. Halloween and Valentine's Day. C. Easter and Labor Day.
I choose A. Christmas and New Year's Day.
Correct. Both are widely celebrated federal holidays recognized nationwide, often marked by family gatherings and public celebrations. Question 89. Name 1 state that borders Canada. A. New York. B. Texas. C. Florida.
I choose A. New York.
Exactly. New York shares a border with Canada to the north, along with several other states such as Michigan and Alaska. Question 90. Who did the United States fight in World War II? A. France and England. B. The Soviet Union. C. Japan, Germany, and Italy.
I choose C. Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Correct. These countries formed the Axis powers during World War II, and the United States joined the Allies to defeat them. This war reshaped global politics and led to the establishment of the United Nations. You've done a fantastic job today, Mark. How do you feel?
I feel really confident, Anne. Your detailed explanations make everything clear and easy to remember.
That's great to hear. Understanding the background and significance behind each answer is the key to success. Keep practicing, and you'll be ready for your interview in no time.
Thanks, Anne. I look forward to the next set of questions.
100 Civics Questions, 1 Easy Answers US Naturalization Test. Part 7, 91 to 100, Animated 2025. The classroom is quiet and calm as the session approaches its end. Mark looks focused but excited. Anne smiles encouragingly.
Mark, you've done an amazing job working through all the questions. Let's finish strong with the last 10 questions, 91 through 100. Ready?
Absolutely, Anne. Let's do this.
Question 91. When do we celebrate Independence Day? A. December 25th. B. June 14th. C. July 4th.
I choose C. July 4th.
That's right. July 4th is celebrated as Independence Day because it marks the day in 1776 when the Declaration of Independence was officially adopted by the Continental Congress. This document declared the American colonies free from British rule, making it a defining moment in U.S. history. Americans celebrate with fireworks, parades, and patriotic events to honor their nation's freedom and heritage. Question 92. How many amendments does the Constitution have? A. 27. B. 10. C. 50.
I choose A. 27.
Exactly. Since its ratification in 1787, the Constitution has been amended 27 times to address issues the original document did not fully cover or to adapt to changing times. The amendments include important rights and protections, such as freedom of speech, voting rights, and the abolition of slavery. Understanding the amendments is key to knowing how the Constitution evolves with the nation. Question 93. What do we call the first 10 amendments of the Constitution? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Preamble. C. The Emancipation Proclamation.
I choose A. The Bill of Rights.
Correct. The Bill of Rights was added shortly after the Constitution was ratified to guarantee essential freedoms and rights to individuals. It includes protections such as freedom of speech, religion, the right to a fair trial, and protection against unreasonable searches. These rights are fundamental to American democracy and protect citizens from government abuse. Question 94. We elect a president for how many years? A. 2 years. B. 6 years. C. 4 years.
I choose C. 4 years.
That's correct. U.S. presidents serve 4-year terms with the possibility of being re-elected for a second term, making a maximum of 8 years. This system ensures regular opportunities for citizens to evaluate and choose their leadership while providing stability. Question 95. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? A. Nancy Pelosi. B. Mike Johnson. C. Chuck Schumer.
I choose B. Mike Johnson.
Correct. Mike Johnson is the current Speaker of the House, which means he is the leader of the House of Representatives. The Speaker presides over House sessions, helps manage legislation, and represents the majority party. This position is very powerful within the legislative branch. Question 96. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? A. July 4th, 1776. B. August 2nd, 1776. C. December 25th, 1776.
I choose A. July 4th, 1776.
Exactly. Although the declaration was signed by some delegates later, July 4th is celebrated as the official adoption date because it was when the Continental Congress approved it, declaring America's independence. This date became the nation's birthday and is celebrated every year. Question 97. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. A. The Revolutionary War. B. The Civil War. C. The Spanish-American War.
I choose B. The Civil War.
Right. The Civil War was fought from 1861 to 1865 primarily over slavery and states' rights. The Northern States Union fought to preserve the nation and end slavery, while the Southern States Confederacy sought to maintain slavery and secede. The war resulted in the preservation of the United States and abolition of slavery. Question 98. What is the economic system of the United States? A. Market economy. B. Socialism. C. Command economy.
I choose A. Market economy.
Correct. The United States has a market economy, meaning most economic decisions, such as what goods to produce, prices, and investments, are made by private individuals and businesses, guided by supply and demand. The government's role is limited, which encourages competition and innovation. Question 99. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? A. Asians. B. Africans. C. Native Americans.
I choose C. Native Americans.
That's right. Native Americans, also known as indigenous peoples, were the original inhabitants of the continent, with diverse tribes, languages, and cultures. Their history dates back thousands of years before European settlers arrived. Question 100. Name one right only for United States citizens. A. Citizens can vote in a federal election. B. The right to drive. C. The right to free healthcare.
I choose A. Citizens can vote in a federal election.
Exactly. Voting in federal elections is a right reserved only for citizens. It allows citizens to participate directly in choosing their leaders and shaping laws. This responsibility is fundamental to American democracy. Mark, congratulations. You've completed all 100 questions with a strong understanding. Before we end, let's discuss how you can evaluate yourself after your citizenship interview.
Yes, please. I want to know how to reflect on my performance.
Great. After your interview, it's important to take time to reflect honestly about how you did. Consider these questions. Did you understand the questions clearly? Were you able to answer confidently and completely? Did you feel comfortable speaking English and explaining your answers? Were there any questions that surprised you or that you found difficult? If you noticed areas where you hesitated or were unsure, make a plan to review those topics more deeply. Practicing speaking English daily will also help improve your confidence and fluency. Remember, the interview is not only about knowing facts, but also about demonstrating your ability to communicate and your understanding of American government and history. Stay calm, listen carefully, and answer honestly. Lastly, no matter the outcome, view the interview as a valuable learning experience. If you don't pass on your first try, you'll know better what to focus on next time.
That's really helpful, Anne. I'll make sure to reflect carefully and keep improving.
I'm confident you will do great. You've worked very hard and you're well prepared. Just keep practicing and stay positive.
Thank you so much, Anne. I feel ready for this important step.
Anne smiles proudly as Mark packs up, feeling confident and well prepared for his citizenship journey ahead.